Ecstasy, also known by its chemical name 3,4-methylene-dioxymethamphetamine or MDMA, is a synthetic psychoactive substance that has both stimulant and hallucinogenic properties. MDMA was first synthesized in 1912 by the German pharmaceutical company Merck during an effort to create new compounds for controlling bleeding as part of a series of research on compounds related to amphetamine family. Initially, it was not developed as a recreational drug but rather as an intermediate chemical in synthesis of other compounds. Discovery and early uses. Although MDMA was synthesized in the early 20th century, its psychoactive properties were not discovered until decades later. In the 1970s, MDMA was rediscovered and began to be used in psychotherapy, particularly in marriage counseling and psychological treatment. It was thought to facilitate open emotional expression and reduce barriers between therapist and patient, helping individuals confront emotional trauma and deep-seated psychological issues. Ecstasy's rise in popularity. MDMA became widely popular in the 1980s when it began being used recreationally in rave parties, nightclubs, and music festivals, especially among young adults. It was marked under the street names Ecstasy, E, X, and Molly when in its pure crystalline form. The drug's euphoric, pathogenic, and stimulant effects made it particularly appealing to people in the party and music scenes. Legal status and regulation. As the recreational use of MDMA grew, so did concerns about its safety and about abuse potential. In 1985, MDMA was classified as a Schedule I controlled substance by the Drug Enforcement Administration or DEA in the United States, meaning it was considered to have a high potential for abuse and no accepted medical use. Many other countries followed suit, placing it under strict regulatory controls.
MDMA belongs to the class of substituted amphetamines, which includes other compounds like methamphetamine and amphetamine. MDMA's chemical structure features a methylene dioxy group, which is a pair of oxygen atoms attached to a benzene ring or phenyl group, making it different from other amphetamines. The methylene dioxy group is key to its hallucinogenic and empathogenic properties. A UPAC name: 1,3,4-methylene dioxyphenyl and 2-aminopropane. Molecular formula: C11H15NO2. Molecular weight: 193.25 grams per molecule. MDMA is structurally similar to other amphetamines, but its unique molecular structure, particularly the methylene dioxy group, influences its effects on the brain, giving it qualities of both a stimulant and a mild hallucinogen. This specific chemical modification enhances the drug's ability to increase the release of serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, leading to its characteristic effects on mood and perception.
Appearance. MDMA is typically encountered as a crystalline powder, which is either colorless or white in pure form. When sold on the street, it may be compressed into tablets that are stamped with logos, but the purity of the substance may vary widely when sold as a MULI, pure crystalline MDMA. It is usually a white, off-white, or slightly pink powder. Solubility. MDMA is highly soluble in water and alcohol, which facilitates its administration through various routes, such as oral ingestion, inhalation, snorting, and intravenous injection. Melting point from 148 to 110 degrees Celsius. MDMA can decompose if exposed to high heat or light. Stability. MDMA is stable under normal conditions but can degrade over time when exposed to moisture, light, or air. This can lead to impurities which are often found in illicit MDMA tablets.
We have the first one, the short-term effects. We have the euphoria. MDMA is widely known for its ability to induce intense feeling of happiness, joy, and well-being. The user experiences a rush of euphoria, evaluated mood, partially caused by increased serotonin levels. Empathy and emotional closeness is the other one. One hallmark effect of MDMA is an increased sense of emotional closeness, empathy, connection with others. This has led to its use in social settings like parties, raves, and concerts. Heightened sensory perceptions. The MDMA enhances sensory experiences. Users often report a deepened appreciation for music, light, and touch. This is one reason why MDMA is popularly in music festival and dance environments. We have the stimulation. The MDMA increased alertness, energy, physical activity. It is often described as a stimulant in the regard reducing fatigue and increasing motivation. Second, we have the physical effects. Alongside its psychoactive effects, MDMA also increased physical symptoms like raised heart rate, higher blood pressure, muscle tension, jaw clenching, and sweating. The next one is the adverse effects. So we have the dehydration and hypothermia. MDMA causes an increase in body temperature sweating, which can lead to dangerous hyperthermia, dehydration in hot crowded environments. For example, the nightclubs and rave. If left untreated, this condition can result in organ failure and death. Next one is neurotoxicity. Chronic cause of MDMA can lead to damaged serotonin producing neurons, potentially causing long-term changes mood memory behavior. There is concern about frequent use could lead persistent mood disorder like depression and anxiety. Serotonin syndrome. This potentially fatal condition arises from excessive serotonin activity, or the brain symptoms can include agitation, confusion, fever, muscle rigidity. It is most commonly associated with MDMA overdose, especially when combined with other serotonin drugs. We have the third one, the post-use depression. After effects of MDMA were off, users often experience feeling fatigue, irritability, depression due to depletion serotonin. This period, sometimes called calm down, can last days after use.
Number 1. Empathogenic properties. MDMA is often referred to as an empathogen or entactogen because it induces feelings, emotional openness, empathy, and connection with others. These effects are the reasons why it became so popular in social settings and psychotherapeutic applications where it can facilitate honest communication and emotional breakthroughs. Number 2. Potential for therapeutic use. Clinical studies have shown that MDMA, when used in combination with psychotherapy, may be an effective treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder or the PTSD and other psychological disorders. This form of MDMA-assisted psychotherapy has shown promise helping patients process traumatic memories with less emotional distress. And number 3, street names. MDMA is often referred to by street names such as ecstasy, Molly, E, X, and Adam. These terms typically refer to the substance in its various forms, with Molly referring to the pure crystalline form, while ecstasy may contain various adulterants.
First is the mechanism of action. MDMA primarily works by increasing the levels of the neurotransmitter serotonin in the brain. It does this by promoting the release of serotonin from its storage sites in neurons and inhibiting its reuptake, leading to an enhanced and prolonged effect. Additionally, MDMA also causes the release of dopamine and norepinephrine, which contribute to its stimulating effects. Serotonin. This neurotransmitter regulates mood, emotions, and social behavior. MDMA's release of serotonin is largely responsible for the feelings of empathy, emotional closeness, and well-being that users experience. Dopamine. This neurotransmitter plays a crucial role in the brain's reward system, contributing to the euphoric sensations and pleasurable feelings associated with MDMA use. And the last one is norepinephrine. By increasing the release of norepinephrine, MDMA causes an increase in heart rate, blood pressure, and physical energy. Second, metabolism. MDMA is metabolized in the liver by cytochrome P450 enzymes into several metabolites, the most notable of which is MDMA, 3,4-methylene-dioxymethamphetamine, which is itself a psychoactive substance. However, it is more hallucinogenic and less stimulant like compared to MDMA. The half-life of MDMA ranges from 7 to 9 hours, meaning it stays in the body for a relatively long time after ingestion. The onset of effects is typically felt within 30 to 45 minutes after oral consumption, peaking around 2 to 3 hours and lasting up to 6 hours.
3. Potency. A typical recreational dose of MDMA ranges from 80 to 150 mg. Although some users may take higher doses due to the risk of overdose, it's important to note that the potency of MDMA can highly variable, especially when purchased illicitly. As MDMA tablets are often adulterated with other substances.